Good morning, everyone. Before discussing international maritime conventions such as the Civil Liability Convention Protocol 1992, it is important to first understand the structure of the United Nations, which plays a central role in coordinating global governance and international regulatory cooperation. The United Nations, established in 1945 after the Second World War, was created with the primary objective of maintaining international peace and security. Over time, its responsibilities expanded to include promoting economic development, social progress, environmental protection, human rights, and international cooperation among its 193 member states. Within the United Nations system, there are 6 principal organs, one of which is the United Nations Economic and Social Council, commonly known as ECOSOC. The ECOSOC is responsible for coordinating the economic, social, and environmental activities of the United Nations and serves as the main platform for collaboration between the UN and its specialized agencies. Under ECOSOC, several specialized agencies are established to regulate specific global sectors through technical expertise, international standards, and legal frameworks. 2 important specialized agencies relevant to the maritime and labor sectors are the International Maritime Organization and the International Labor Organization. The International Maritime Organization, or IMO, is responsible for developing international conventions, safety regulations, and environmental protection standards for global shipping operations. Its conventions form the legal foundation for many maritime regulations adopted by member states, including Malaysia. Established in 1948 and headquartered in London, develops international standards for shipping to ensure that maritime operations are safe, secure, environmentally sustainable, and efficient. IMO conventions cover maritime safety, SALAS, pollution prevention, MARPOL, seafarer training, STCW, and liability/compensation, including CLC 1992. Malaysia has ratified about 30 major IMO conventions, demonstrating its commitment to global maritime standards. Meanwhile, the International Labor Organization, or ILO, focuses on promoting fair working conditions, seafarers' welfare, labor rights, and employment standards worldwide. Founded in 1919 and a UN specialized agency since 1946, its Maritime Labor Convention, MLC 2006, sets minimum standards for employment agreements, working hours, accommodations, food, medical care, occupational safety, social security, and repatriation rights. Ships above 500 GT on international voyages must carry a Maritime Labor Certificate and Declaration of Maritime Labor Compliance, verified by flag state and port state inspections. Malaysia has ratified these instruments, aligning with global maritime labor governance. The CLC Protocol 1992, Civil Liability Convention 1992, entered into force on May 30, 1996, and was officially adopted to establish liability for oil pollution damage caused by tanker spills. As of May 17, 2026, 146 contracting states have ratified the protocol, covering 97.07% of world tanker tonnage. In terms of Malaysia's involvement, Malaysia ratified the CLC protocol on June 9, 2004, and the protocol entered into force for Malaysia on June 9, 2005. Malaysia's ratification was through accession, and this was done after the treaty had already met the required number of ratifications. The entry into force of the CLC Protocol 1992 is defined under Article 13 of the Protocol, which outlines the following. Entry into force. Article 13, Paragraph 1. The Protocol shall enter into force 12 months after the date on which 10 states, including 4 states with at least 1 million gross tons of tanker tonnage, deposit their instruments of ratification, acceptance, approval, or accession with the Secretary-General of the IMO. Conditions for entry. Article 13, Paragraph 2. Any contracting state to the 1971 Fund Convention can declare that their instrument of ratification shall not be effective for the purposes of this article until the 6-month period stated in Article 31 of the 1992 Fund Protocol has ended. Withdrawal of declarations. Article 13, Paragraph 3 states that made the above declaration can withdraw it at any time, and the withdrawal will take effect when the notification is received by the IMO Secretary-General. The state will then be considered to have ratified the protocol at the time of the withdrawal. Subsequent ratifications. Article 13, Paragraph 44 states that ratify the protocol after the required conditions for entry have been met. The protocol will enter into force 12 months after the date on which that state deposits its instrument of ratification, acceptance, approval, or accession. Implementation of international maritime conventions in Malaysia. Malaysia has ratified 31 international maritime conventions, including 30 under the IMO and 1 under the ILO, MLC 2006. These conventions are integrated into domestic law through the Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1952, MSO 1952, supported by subsidiary legislation, ministerial regulations, and Malaysia Shipping Notices, MSN, forming a cohesive framework that ensures compliance with both domestic and international standards. Under MSO 1952 Sections 518 and 519, the Minister can create regulations and adjust statutory fees related to ship certification, inspections, surveys, and administrative services. MSNs, issued under Section 519A, enforce navigation safety, maritime transport security, and marine pollution prevention, and non-compliance is considered an offense. Section 81 requires shipowners to keep current legislation and notices on board, with fines of up to Rm 25,000 for breaches. This enforcement system ensures that updates from ratified international conventions are applied promptly, first through MSNs, then incorporated into subsidiary legislation, allowing for formal prosecution or compounding under the ordinance. Explanation of Clc Protocol 1992, Article 7 and Malaysia's enforcement mechanism. Malaysia ratification and Scope Malaysia officially ratified the Clc 1992 on June 9, 2004, and it entered into force on June 9, 2005. The protocol applies to ships carrying more than 2,000 tons of oil in bulk. It requires that shipowners maintain insurance or financial security to cover liabilities arising from oil pollution damage, as outlined in Article 7. Insurance requirements and certificates shipowners must comply with the liability limits specified in Article 5. Every ship must have a certificate of insurance or financial security, which includes details such as the ship's name, port of registration, owner, insurer, type of security, and validity period. The certificate must be carried on board and be available for inspection at any time. Recognized insurers include International Group, IG, P&I clubs, recommended by MSN 57/2005. Approved non-IG insurers, provided they meet the required financial criteria. Compliance enforcement. Ships must not enter or leave a port in Malaysia or any part of Malaysian waters or the Exclusive Economic Zone, EEZ, unless they have the required insurance or financial security in force. Non-compliance may result in fines ranging from Rm 200,000 to Rm 500,000 for entering or leaving without insurance. MSO 1952 Section 361. Fines ranging from Rm 20,000 to Rm 100,000 if the master fails to carry or produce the insurance certificate. MSO 1952 Section 361. 6. Fines Rm 50,000 Rm 100,000 for failure to maintain insurance for the master and seafarers. MSO 1952 Section 365A. Detention of vessels until requirements are met. Guidance for compliance with international standards and administrative procedures is provided through Malaysia Shipping Notices, including MSN 57/2005, MSN 1/2009, and MSN 7/2014. Authority of Enforcement Port State Control and Flag State Control. Officers can inspect and detain non-compliant ships. However, prosecution authority rests with Malaysian courts via the Attorney General's chambers. Before June 9, 2005, authorities could only detain ships. After this date, full enforcement, including prosecution, became possible. Application process for insurance certificates. The Marine Department Malaysia has implemented an online system since August 1, 2014. Fees are Rm 100 for Malaysian ships and for foreign ships. Required documents include the Certificate of Registry, Insurance Policy, Blue Card, and application form submitted online.
Thank you for watching. See you next video.